Hello and welcome to another edition of This Week in Campbell Football. I'm your host, Chris Haymar, alongside the head coach of Campbell Football, Mike Minter, and we are standing high above the new home stand side here at beautiful Barker Lane Stadium. This is This Week in Campbell Football, powered by our friends at Fred Anderson Toyota. And Coach, no highlights to show from this past weekend because you guys had, well, at least on the schedule, an off weekend. I know you guys were working, getting prepared for Valparaiso. That'll be your first league game on the road in Indiana.
We're excited. We're excited finally to get started with conference play and really to the games that really matter in your football season. And so we're excited about getting started. And, you know, what better way of doing that against a team that only won 2 games in 2 years, and it was against us. So we need to go down there and have a great showing, at least let everybody know that it's a different Campbell team that's going to be in this conference this year.
Coach, what have you seen from Valparaiso on tape? What is your team going to have to do to come out of there with the victory? Well,
you know what? These guys are they play hard. You know, so it's not a. I think they got a lot of older guys on their team, and so, you know, what we have to do is we have to impose our will. We got to play the way that we like to play, is run the football. We got to be able to do that, open up the pass for big shots down the football field. We have to do that on the offensive side of the ball. Then, you know, defensively, we got to stop their run. Do not let their run be any part of this game and make them one-dimensional. They like to throw the ball around, and so we got to be prepared for that, and we got to make plays when plays present themselves on the defensive side of the ball.
Coach, no matter who you play, anytime you go on the road, it is a challenge. Your first real long road trip of the year is 800 miles away in the middle of Indiana. What do you have to do to prepare your team to go onto the road and win?
Well, every time you go on the road, everybody say you got to pack your defense, you got to pack your special team, and you got to make it happen. And so we know it's not going to be a big crowd. You know, not what we've been used to in the first 3 weeks of the season. And so we got to have that motivation from within. And, you know, the thing that I would tell my guys is that, look, it's a business trip. We're here to win a football game, no matter if it was 1 or 1,000 or 20,000 in the stands. We got to go in there and perform and play the type of football we want to, because we're on a mission to accomplish something, and that's to win a conference championship. And so with that, we just got to go down there and play football.
And it's got to be exciting. This year, something new to the Pioneer Football League is the winner of this conference for the first time in the conference history. The Pioneer Football League Conference, the winner will go to the FCS playoffs. That's exciting. That's a big carrot at the top of the conference, isn't it?
No, that's a huge carrot, right? This is why we do what we do, is to win championships. And now if you win it, you get to go to the playoffs. And now what better way to be able to you know, start my career is coming in with a football team that was dead last in Division I football, and now in the hunt to try to win a conference championship and then go to the playoffs. Man, that'd be a dream come true.
We promised you last week that we'd show you inside the brand new Carly C's IGA Press Tower. Well, they're putting the finishing touches on it to get it ready for a Morehead State and Family Weekend, putting up new pictures, putting up TV screens. So we'll give you the full tour coming up in the weeks that follow here on This Week in Campbell Football. But Coach, what we will show right now, and you can talk a little bit about it, a new series that follows you and the guys closely. It's called All Out Campbell Football 2013 by Mal Vista Productions and our friend Daniel McCracken. We had the first episode out last week, and it is really something, isn't it?
I tell you, Daniel's done a great job of following us all the way from the time that I got hired to now, and really going to show the people behind the scenes of really what we go through throughout the week, and then also game day to try to win some games around here. And so it's going to give you an inside look. And so I say, you know, make sure that you tune in to it, get it on the YouTube, however you get it. Just make sure that you you know, send it out to other people so they can begin to understand what they're going to get from Campbell football.
And here's a couple minutes right now of episode 1.
Talent-wise, I look at this football team, and this is not a 1 in 10 football team. I think a lot of things happen. Perfect storm happened last year, where they had injuries. They had a lot of young guys playing. A lot of freshmen true freshmen had to play last year. And then when you lose a quarterback, you have to change the style of the offense in the middle of the season. It makes it very, very difficult on a football team. So the talent level is definitely not a 1-10 team. So now it's really about the mindset. I think if you can get the mind as a champion, then the body will follow.
Oh man, I tell you what, I was real impressed with the energy, the attitude. Team coming off of 1-10, man, they worked today. You know, we got through all the plays with about 10 minutes to spare. That tempo, great tempo. So I'm liking where we're headed right now.
And folks, that'll be coming out every week. You can find it at gocamels.com. All right, it's time for our favorite news segment, Ask Coach Mike. You can post your questions to head coach Mike Minter on Facebook or use the hashtag AskCoachMike. We got a question to you from Linda this week, and she says, hey, she wants to hear about your days back in Nebraska in the mid-90s. You were there as a player, won 2 national championships, and people on the East Coast might not know what you and I do growing up in the Central Time Zone. Nebraska football in the 80s and the 90s. Boy, it was going, wasn't it?
No, it's nothing like it. And so I'm glad Linda asked that question about, Nebraska football and really what it was all about. And Coach Osborne, probably the greatest man that I know, and really was a big influence on me growing up as a young man there in college. And nothing like Saturday in Lincoln. When you have 100,000 fans dressed in red there to cheer you on, and especially in the 90s when we was kind of really, really good. We had some great guys on offense: Tommy Frazier, Lawrence Phillips, and Mamon Green, and explosive offense. And then our defense was pretty good too. Everybody that was on our defense got a chance to go play in the National Football League, so pretty good defense also. And we used to have battles, offense against defense. That probably was our toughest competition, was during the week, and that's really what you want to try to build is your toughest competition during the week. So on Saturday, it become a cakewalk, and we had a great time there, there in the 90s, and I think we was 47-3 my 4 years there, and so just an amazing time, and that's again that tradition. That love of football is what we're trying to bring here at Bowie's Creek.
A lot more questions, keep them going. Of course, hashtag Ask Coach Mike, and we will get them on the show. That'll do it. Make sure you join us next week. We'll have highlights from the road as we bring back the game from Valparaiso. For head coach Mike Minter, I'm Chris Samar saying so long, and we'll see you next week on This Week in Campbell Football.